Hi, my name is Jon Allen, and this is my story. In 1999, I moved to New York City after graduating from Syracuse University with a bachelor's degree in fine art and an emphasis in painting. I must admit now that at the time I was rather naive to the world, and I was not clear on what to expect from moving to New York. As a 21-year-old, I simply knew that I wanted to pursue art and that I had a fairly large group of friends that were moving there and living there as well that had similar creative ambitions. I had no clear goal of what I would do in the city, except to just feel my way through the dark. Fortunately, the economy was strong, so moving there with $700 in my pocket, I was not too worried about just finding any type of job to get myself by. Soon I was able to discover a job posting for Todd McFarlane Studios designing toys and illustrating those concepts, but I was soon rejected after applying to that, and I did have some samples of work that I showed them, but it wasn't what they were looking for, and I was really disappointed on not getting this job, which I thought was going to sort of lay the path for my entire illustrating career. But looking back on it now, I know that rejection was an important lesson in learning how to deal with being rejected and moving on to the next thing. Fortunately, a few months later, I was able to start working at a job at the Hudson River Park Trust, setting up events on their piers. And this was one of my first real jobs in the city, and it was a great job because I was working alongside the Hudson River, and I experienced a wide variety of people from all walks of life. Although it was only seasonal work at the time, I was fortunate enough to parlay it into a permanent position because of my art skills. The park showed much interest in my talents, and I was able to develop several projects for them. One which was a Hudson River bird calendar. I was proud of this project because I have had a fascination with birds since a very young age, and I have been drawing them since I was around 12 years old. I found it amazing that I had moved to New York with one intention, and although I was not able to fulfill that initially, another opportunity opened up. I felt truly blessed to be able to paint watercolors of different bird species. It was like some sort of affirmation of achieving a childhood dream. Although I did this amazing project, it still was not something that would be a full-time career. Many of my responsibilities at the Hudson River Park still required day-to-day office work, and the art took up a minute fraction of my workload. Eventually, I moved on to other work in my pursuit of working as a full-time artist. I continued to make varieties of work throughout the years of living in New York while dabbling in different illustration assignments, and I also began to get involved in showing at art galleries. All of these experiences were very enlightening, but I always felt as though I would be reacting to whatever situation life would present to me without having a clear direction. And it was a few years ago that I decided to make a massive change after living in New York for 10 years. Although it was an incredible experience and I literally lived through some of the most incredible and tragic historic events in this country firsthand, I decided it was time to return to Massachusetts where I would wipe the slate clean and start over, sort of like creating a new piece of art. Soon after my return, I enrolled in a master's program at Applied Communications at Fitchburg State. I was so hungry to do something outside of art, and I felt that this would be a new and exciting direction. Now that I am nearing the completion of this program, I am able to reflect back on my life and with a completely refreshed perspective. I often think about how the undergrad art program I was in all those years ago was completely ineffectual. Although I was able to develop my craft and talents, very little was emphasized as far as real-world skills, and I find this to be a sort of tragedy for people that may be slightly disillusioned as I was. I've had to learn how the art trades in life in general work throughout the years of trial and error. It has taken me years to hone my own skills and discover what will be the most effective way to utilize my talent. All very important things I have been enlightened upon in the Applied Communications program. I really cannot stress enough how important critical thinking is to how one communicates and interacts in their roles in society, work, and family. Understanding and examining these communication roles and how we fit into them in our society are so vital to the successes we wish to achieve. With this new perspective of reflection, I have a clearer picture of the areas of my life that were blind spots and how I was in a vacuum in regards to developing a successful career. I am grateful to the Applied Communications program along with my volunteerism in the AmeriCorps program. They have taught me to think outside of myself along with putting one's own personal needs secondary. And it's because of this that I feel true opportunities arise when helping others. And I found that these have been incredible lessons that will benefit me in executing my goals and giving something bigger, which eventually I feel fulfills oneself while helping and fulfilling others. I think that's the truest form of success, and I look forward to continuing to do so. So I hope you enjoyed a little piece of my story, and somebody in that you might be able to take something from this. So I will see you on the other side, and keep an eye open for my art. www.jonallenart.com and jonallenart.tumblr.com. Take care. Bye.